So I'm just gonna play, watching my eyes away, Dr. Play, watching my eyes away, Dr. Play, watching my eyes away.
Welcome back, YouTube family. Well, guys, the year is just about over. We are just about done with 2023. And today I am coming to you with a special. Why not end the year and start the year with a banger? So this is going to be a Christmas special, and it's also going to be a Happy New Year special. So for the first part of this video, we are going to make a wine. As you guys see, I have something special in mind, and this is going to be a two-part video. So I have another surprise for you guys in store, because I'm going to do more of this next year. But we'll get to that when we cross that bridge. But anyway, guys, we are making a carrot cake wine today. And we are using most of the ingredients that you find in carrot cake. Spices and such or whatever, and we have other things here to give certain flavors. And I know you guys see the Belvy. I'm not sponsored by them, but this is one of my favorite drinks. But we're gonna get to that when we get to it. But anyway, guys, we are going to get into this video, because as always, I want to try to keep it short and sweet, have you guys enjoy yourselves, and let's do our thing. So today's recipe is 3 pounds carrots. We are using 8 ounces of dates. We're using 8 ounces of raisins, 1.5 pounds of white sugar, 1/2 pound of brown sugar, 16 ounces of orange juice. You can also use 6 oranges and just squeeze the juice out of it, and make sure you keep the oranges, because you also want to use the zest, which we're going to come up to. We're using 1 gallon of water, two tablespoons of lemon zest, some allspice, cloves, cinnamon stick, one bag of Earl Grey black tea for the tannin, and some RC212 for the yeast. Now, guys, the spices that you're seeing, the allspice, the cloves, the cinnamon, all of that's going to be on a separate part up in this video because there's another step to this process. So we're going to cover the first step of the process, and then we're going to cover the next step of the process because I'm going to give you some options. But anyway, let's go ahead and get right into it.
So you guys probably asked me why I cut the carrots like this. Cause it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you cut it. You just get it done. And so we done it like this. You see? Okay? So anyway guys, just a little teaser now. But we went ahead and cut our carrots up. And the reason why we cut them up like this is because we want to get as much surface area as possible on the carrots, you know, the inside, so we can basically get the carrot juice, carrot flavor, whatever you want to say, to come out of this, because we're going to let it sit, and that's the reason why we done it. But these are baby carrots, and I always wondered where baby carrots come from. I mean, I know you guys asked that question. It's like, do a mother carrot and father carrot get together and make a baby carrot? But anyway, enough of that. You can use any carrot you like. You can use carrots straight from the garden. You can use shredded carrots. Anything that would help you get to the point where we are trying to get. So next, what we're going to do is get some of this water back here, and see, having a little technical difficulties getting it open, but we got it. And we're going to pour half of this into our pot. Right, yeah. And we're going to get half of that into it. That's roughly half. And we might wind up putting the whole amount, but I'm going to wait and see, because we're going to add that orange juice to it. So let's go ahead and turn on our stove. We're going to turn it to a high heat. I discussed this in one of the videos before. I turn it to a high heat so we can get to a rolling ball as quick as possible. And with this one, guys, we are going to go ahead and let our carrots boil for at least 20 minutes up in here. And we're going to go ahead and do the rest of the process like usual. But anyway, while the water is getting hot, and like I said, I added half, but it just depends on the carrots that we put up in here, because we want our water to cover the carrots. So basically that's what we're going to do. We're going to put our carrots up in the pot, and we're going to make sure that they're covered, and we're going to let that boil for 20 minutes, and we'll get on to the rest of the process after this. So okay, while our carrots are coming up to a boil, we will cover step 2 of this process, and it can go a few different ways, guys. So right in front of me we have spice, or our spices, and usually there's a lot of controversy about when to put spices in your brew. People say, you know, put it in when you're boiling.
Some people say put it in when you're doing primary fermentation, where basically when you first start fermenting. And sometimes people say secondary or conditioning phase is after everything finished fermenting. You can throw it in afterwards to let the alcohol that you produce soak up the flavors of your spices, your herbs, your fruits, or whatever that you put up in it. But it's also another way that you can handle this. So just like we discussed, you can take and put these spices into secondary. Well, it's a phase, but I'm just saying you can put it up in there and let it sit for a week or so, a few days or whatever, and you can taste it as it goes. But the only problem or issue that a lot of us come into contact with, however you want to say, is that when you do it like this, you are introducing oxygen into your brew, your wine, whatever you want to say. And we all know oxygen at the end of fermentation is bad, and we try to stay away from that. So obviously we don't want to do that. So a little trick that I picked up and has been working actually fine for me, and I actually kind of prefer it most of the time, but I try to keep things simple. But this is something simple and a trick that you can add to your repertoire or your list and see how it works for you. Because I'm sorry, one more thing I wanted to cover is that when you put your spices into fermentation, the primary fermentation, the fermentation tends to blow off a lot of your spice esters, that aroma profile that you get from your spices. So it tends to be weaker when the fermentation is done. But yet if you put it up in secondary, you get that boost of aroma and aromatics back. But like I said, a trick that we can do, and I'm covering it, you can get some vodka. And I am not using my good Belvedere. I'm just using this as example because I get the cheap stuff. But you can use vodka, you can use rum, you can use bourbon, you can use whatever you want. But I use vodka because vodka is neutral. And you can take 8 ounces of vodka, and for this recipe, I would take 8 ounces of vodka, use 1 cinnamon stick to put up in our jar over here. Also, the 2 cloves that we have and put up in the jar, and about 6 to 8 of my allspice berries. That's to give the carrot cake spice flavor to our brew. And what you're doing when you do this is that vodka is going to be extracting the flavor and all those aromatics and stuff from your spices that you have into it. So you're basically doing an infusion, and that's kind of like what an extract is. So by doing that and letting it sit, guys, the longer you let this sit, the better it becomes. It soaks up all of that, whatever you want to say, aromatic, spices, flavor, whatever you want to say, it soaks all of that up the longer you let it sit, and it be really strong, so you don't have to use as much. And this is a little trick you can do because, if you're making a gallon, 5 gallons or whatever, and I'll say start off with maybe half an ounce to a gallon and go up in half an ounce increments and see what you think about the flavor profile when you add it to it. Because when your fermentation is done and that beverage is done and you getting ready to bottle it, you can add the extract right before you bottle it. And I know you guys was probably asking me, well, man, where is the vanilla? Because you're supposed to put some vanilla extract in there. Well, hey, baby, there you go. my own personal homemade Tahitian vanilla extract that your boy done made. And I used 2 vanilla beans that I sliced up and cut up and scraped up and put it up in there. And it's been sitting for a year. And guys, the aroma off of this is, yeah boy, it's wonderful. Wonderful flavor. And tastes good. I didn't use that up in a couple things already. But that's something that I wanted to go over or whatever to let you guys know, because basically you can do it any one of those ways I told you and you'll be okay. And you try, you know, you experiment, do what you like and find out which way works best for you. But that's basically for the end of this part. And for me, I just was introducing the spices so I can show you guys what we'll be using up in here for our spices. But I actually already have a spice mix extract that I made into a liqueur, which I'll teach you guys later on the channel. I just want to cover some other things, and I will be using that before I bottle it to get my spice flavor or whatever. But yeah, anyway, back to the other part of this process. Okay, so we went ahead and strained our carrot juice, and guys, this, like I said, it smells just like carrots. I mean, I tasted it, and it tastes like carrots with some sugar or whatever. And as you can see, this is all the pulp that's left over or whatever. Unfortunately, this time we're going to be throwing this away. I don't have nothing planned for the scraps this time. So we just gonna wind up getting rid of that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of our water and top this up to a little bit more than a gallon, and then we're gonna go ahead and get our hydrometer reading to see where we are at. Alright guys, so we have come to that point again. We took our gravity reading and went ahead and poured our must into the bucket, as you can see right here. Nice pretty orange brown color, and like I said, it also tastes pretty good. Give you kind of a preview of what's to come. So we're gonna go ahead and sprinkle our yeast in up there all around, and go ahead and put our top on there. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and put our bun in here, and that's it. So now we are gonna allow this to ferment. I say ferment. Anyway, ferment 5 to 7 days or more until the fermentation is complete. Like I said, you can double check after the airlock activity dies down. You can keep checking each week after that with the hydrometer to see if your specific gravity is the same. And if your gravity is the same and it hasn't changed, it's a pretty good chance that the fermentation is complete. And you can go ahead with the other steps as far as racking as many times as you need to, so on and so forth. I'll put the information on the racking procedure up in the left hand corner of the screen so you guys could check it out. But anyway guys, we are done, and I'm hoping you guys like the little backdrop that I put on here or whatever. This is for next year. I wanted to change it up and put some items on here, like I told you once before, to give you guys a little eye candy, something you guys could see and everything, to also help out with the lighting and stuff, to make it more vibrant and more attractive and all that other good stuff. Like I said, 2024 is on the way. I'm coming with new content, some new things, and like I said, if you guys stay, I have another surprise for you, and it's a 2-for-1, because I'm ending the year and I'm starting the year with a special for you. Something that I'm gonna be consistent on the channel with next year. But as of right now, I just want to say Merry Christmas, or should I say Happy Late Christmas, because as of this recording, I didn't get a chance to put this out for Christmas, so this is after Christmas but before New Year's. But like I said, give me a minute and I'll be right back with another surprise for you guys. Alright guys, so we are finally bringing beer to the channel.
Another one.
And I am going to keep it as budget friendly as possible. I'm going to end up doing 1 gallon batches. So I'm going to do pre-measurements, all that kind of stuff, and figure out everything before I bring it to you guys, and then it'll be up to you on how you want to order your stuff on Amazon or your brew shop or whatever. But today I'm doing a special batch that somebody had asked me for. I actually have been making beer over the last year or so to learn the process and getting better. And the procedure that I will most likely be using on the channel most of the time is called brew in a bag. And basically you get your grains, you take everything and put it up in your nylon filter bag or strainer bag or whatever, so you kind of make it like a tea, and drop it up in your pot to mash and stuff like that. But I'll go into details on that as I start getting into actually making the brews. I said I wanted to make this quick and bring y'all a surprise to the channel, but so let's just go ahead and go over what we have. We're going to be using 1.5 gallons of water. You want more water because these grains are going to soak up a lot of the water, and also it's going to ball off, because we're going to be balling this over a period of time. And when you're steeping, it's going to be about 60 minutes, and when we get to the ball, it's going to be about 60 minutes or so. But that's what we're doing as far as the process. We're going with 2 pounds of 2-row grains. We'll be using caramel 15, which is 8 ounces. We will be using our dry L yeast. I have Safel 04 for the yeast that we're using for this beer. You can use any dry L yeast you like, but this is what I have available and it works pretty good. We will be using blue agave nectar to give that flavor of a kind of Mexican beer, and we are using what we call Zamba hops. It gives off pine, tangerine, tropical flavors, stone fruit flavors, and everything like that. And that's what this is as far as the hop addition that we'll be adding in. And this is half of a wort tablet. You can actually use less than this because this is a small batch. 1 tablet is good for 5 gallons, but I'm not about to cut this into 1/4. I just cut it up in half, and that's what we're using to help clear our beer. But I'm going to go through this process, and I would like to say thank you and appreciate you guys for everything. We are knocking on the door, literally knocking. I mean, somebody came to the door and opened it and say, hey, you're almost there, you can come in. We at 498 subscribers as of now while I've been doing the video, and all I need is 2 more. That's it to end the year. And I really would be appreciated. Like I said, thank you guys for everything. This year has been wonderful. I love you guys. I love all the support. I love all the new comments and stuff that I'm getting. So just thank you guys or whatever. Like I said, this is what I do for you guys to make sure I spice things up and bring some new stuff to you guys and everything. Hope you continue watching Dock of the Bay Country Wines and getting into a lot of these recipes with me. If you have any questions or anything, just leave it up in the comments. I do my best to answer everything. And once again, I love and appreciate all you guys, and let's get 2024 started with a bang, because I have some bangers for you next year. But let's get to this process, and I'll make sure I put the beer recipe down up in the description just in case I miss anything. Like I said, it's the first one on the channel. But anyway, on to the process. Let's go. Okay guys, so we have come to the end. I went ahead and shook the wort up. That's what we call the mixture, or juice, whatever you want to say. For beer, it's called wort instead of must. And as you can see, it's a pretty amber color. That's due to the caramel that we put up in it, and when it clears up, it's going to be a pretty nice color too. But also, like I said, we come to the point where we are adding the ale yeast, and it says the characteristics of this yeast is English ale yeast is selected for its fast fermentation profile. It produces balanced, fruity, and floral notes. And when you ferment this, we want to ferment it between 15 to 20 Celsius or 59 to 68 Fahrenheit. And that's pretty much it, as always. So we're going to go ahead and take our 1/4 teaspoon and sprinkle that up in here. We're gonna go ahead and grab our bung. Go ahead and stick it up in the top right there. And as always, that's all she wrote, guys. As far as on our way to get our fermentation started. I'm gonna talk to you guys just for a little bit. Might have some pictures or something or whatever to keep you occupied, but hopefully I can keep your attention just for a little bit. Just give me a little bit of time to explain this. Right here I'm making a Mexican style ale. I added the agave up in here to add a little bit more complexity. The caramel itself adds some flavors to it. I'll put it down up in the description on which each thing adds to this brew. And I guess you wonder, is like, Teresa, you said you're making a Mexican ale or whatever. Where is the lime? Well, we talked about extracts earlier in this video. I made a lime extract actually the beginning of this year, and I'm going to take that lime extract and dose this with 1 ounce. Now, for you guys to do it, if you want to make the extract and have it ready by time this is finished, so you can add it before bottling, you can go ahead and get that same 8 ounces of alcohol, vodka, preferably vodka, to give it a neutral profile. And you're going to take 3 pounds of limes and zest them, and take that zest and put it up in a jar and pour that 8 ounces of vodka on top of that zest, and you're going to let it sit so it can extract all those oils out the lime. So that's what we're doing to get the lime flavor or whatever. Now, as far as the fermentation process, guys, most beers, a good bit of them, take only a month to ferment. This should actually finish fermenting in about a week or two. And once it's finished fermenting, I'm going to take it and put it up in my bottles that I have for beers. I think the 16 ounce beer bottles that I got from my local brew shop. I'm sorry, I got a little tongue twisted there, but I picked those up. So this gallon should net me anywhere from 6 to 9 bottles roughly, or whatever that number. I'm already compensating for loss of wort after I siphon it off. But once I put it once I take it out here, I'm going to put it up in my fermenting bucket, take some priming sugar, 1 ounce of that, or you can use dextrose and use 1 ounce of that also. Put this liquid on top of it, your wort on top of it, stir it up, and then you're going to pour that into your bottle. This is what helps carbonate it. You want to keep it at room temperature, roughly around 72 degrees, something like that, 75 degrees for about 2 weeks, and you're pretty much done. I don't want to go into too much details. Like I said, I'll put stuff up in the description to wrap this up for you guys, but as we go through the year, I will explain more things, but I just wanted to touch base on this. But anyway, I want to thank you once again for being here, being on the channel. I know I said it before, but I'm really appreciative to you guys. Like I said, hope you guys like the little setup that I have back here. That water fountain actually works. I just didn't get a chance to put it on or whatever. But you know, like I said, give you a little eye candy to check out while you're looking at the video. But guys, I'll see you next year in 2024. It's the end of the video. And like I said, thank you for coming to the Dock of the V. Hope y'all have a happy New Year's. Love you all.